Hey guys, that's Andy.
This is Chad.
And we're teamPGR.
We have to do it more space in between. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Go.
In the construction zone still?
What's that?
In the construction zone still?
Gotta focus.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are 2/3 of the way back to South Bend from the final day.
It's actually Friday. We had a day or two of skipping there.
That's true.
Yes.
Lots of exciting things have happened.
Lots.
Lots of exciting things. So it was a pretty good day today at Putnam Park Road Course. Andy picked up a fifth in the morning,
Something like that.
and what, fourth in the afternoon?
Something like that.
Yeah. Either way, you clawed back 15 points.
And we started out today down 20.
Yeah. So we're 5 behind the leaders. And we have the tiebreaker, so all we have
What's
to
the
do is
tiebreaker?
overall time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pretty sure. We probably should know. Not that it matters, but yeah, overall time.
Huh. We have the overall time.
Yeah. Yeah, by like 0.3 of a second or something.
Oh, really? Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You ordered things on this. All right. So basically, it's just straight up.
Straight up.
It is theoretically possible for us to fall to third place too, or them to fall to third place if somebody really screwed it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's enough points still for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't do that.
I don't either. We don't either.
So,
So
day before that was...
That's the most boring part of today.
Yeah. Day before that was pit race, which we clawed back 10 points there. And we just could not get enough of a gap to have some people slide in between us and the Goodyear boys. So,
Yep.
and the day before that was NCM, National Corvette Museum.
I did a little video about that one.
What's that?
I did a video about that
Oh,
one.
did you? Okay. Was I like sleeping?
No. We forgot about it, or we were. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did it at pit race.
Gotcha. Okay, so you got that one covered.
Yep.
So pit race.
And between those two things,
Yeah.
that was the
Pit
second
race.
most boring thing.
Yeah. So last night we were was it like an hour and a half out from the hotel? Somewhere.
Yeah, a little over an hour. Yeah.
Over an hour.
45 minutes from Indianapolis
Yep.
in Indiana, middle of nowhere.
It was called Spiceland.
Spice.
It was spicy. We stopped to supercharge at a interesting gas station convenience store type place.
It was a little odd. It wasn't terrible.
No, not at all. How did that?
While we were
so
charging.
supercharging, and in the middle of it, the car disconnected the high voltage battery and was initially saying that it had a charging equipment fault, which usually means the supercharger, not the car. And it would not. It was immediately on just the 12 volt battery or the low voltage battery only, which it does not live very long on. And we started to troubleshoot it, and basically there was a high voltage fault or a front motor fault, a number of things.
Yeah, there was like 6 or 8 things.
Yeah. So we
Killed the battery.
killed the low voltage battery trying to troubleshoot it.
Because it only lasts 10 minutes, right? It lasts a very short period of time. Because normally the car is running off of the big battery. And they can run off the big battery for hundreds of hours. But the small battery for about when the car is on for like 10 minutes. When the car's off, the little battery will last for 12 hours too.
Yep.
And even after we did the troubleshooting, and now we've killed the 12 volt, we still didn't know what was wrong.
Initially, it seemed like possibly the front motor failed,
Yeah.
or the inverter of the front motor failed. But that wouldn't be likely. It was very unlikely because the cabinet was charging. We weren't moving. We were just sitting there.
Yeah.
So,
Doing nothing. Some sort of wiring
so with,
issue or something chewed through a wire.
with our good friend Chris's help, we started to check some of the culprits, some of the potential culprits, I guess.
Yeah.
Checking all the wiring, like you said.
But this is like at
Well,
10
initially it was
o'clock at
9
night.
o'clock. I
Yeah,
think.
9
We
o'clock.
were kind of struggling through till 10. I guess it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah. We put out the SOS
Yeah.
on the 1-lap channels.
And awesome. Nikki and Race initially stopped and helped us get the car jump started.
And their car is broken earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So they had a rental car.
Yeah.
But they had jumper cables and we could run the car to at least continue troubleshooting.
Yep. So it sounds silly, but yeah, we jumped a Tesla with a rental Chevy Malibu.
Or Malibu, okay.
And
It worked.
so that allowed us to power the low voltage systems enough to continue to troubleshoot the car.
Yeah.
And then the Toyota guys all pulled in. They're a complete entourage of a bunch of engineers, which is exactly what you need when we have a weird problem going on. And we got enough people standing around the front of the car so that they could see. And this was, I don't know, we had been messing with it for 2 hours by that point.
Yeah. They showed up and they helped us troubleshoot. They generally trail behind almost everyone, and whenever there's a problem, they stop
and help every time.
And there's tools everywhere, and there's people, and oh my
Yeah.
goodness, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, the Toyota PE Motorsports, those guys are awesome. They just are.
They win the
I can't say enough about those guys.
they win the Good Sportsman or whatever it's called award every year.
Yeah,
And they should, yeah. And there's a bunch of other 1-lap people who are also helpful.
Yeah.
Everybody's helpful.
Makes me feel good of being a Toyota truck guy most of my life.
Yeah, so we were troubleshooting with them, with Chris, and we got to the point where we were testing like the 4 or 5 wires that connect the motor to the car, because that's what the error was saying, and 3 of them checked out, and the 4th and the 5th ones were really hard to get to, and were going to be difficult. We were debating, like, are we just done? That was probably the second time we thought we were done.
Yeah.
The first time was before that, when it just died, and the battery died, the little low voltage battery died, whatever.
And by the way, this was the first sub 600 mile transit
Yeah,
for the last 3 days.
yeah. So we had no sleep.
So we had no sleep. We were looking forward to like getting in the hotel at like 9 so that we could actually sleep.
Yep. Prepare for today.
And instead we never made it to the hotel.
So like you were saying, we're standing around the car, staring at it.
Yep. How many engineers does it take to figure out where the wiring problem is?
12. That's how many we have. 12.
We have now found the noisiest concrete road in Indiana.
Slight pause for the hall.
Might have to do some editing.
I need noise in anyway, so it takes it right
That's impressive because this is loud.
As long as it's consistent, you can take it right out.
So yeah, and all of a sudden they saw a glow and a puff of smoke from a harness underneath the front VC module.
Which is where we were playing around actually, so that's why they were staring at it.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
But the weird thing was somebody said they saw smoke the first time.
Yeah.
We're like, where's the smoke? Where's the smoke? But there wasn't any anymore. And then, did that only happen when we turned the car on too? So that we're getting.
I think it only happened when we hooked up the Malibu, so that we had 13 plus volts.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the potential was high enough to start arcing. And what had happened was the little section of wiring loom had rubbed up against the super manifold, like swirl pot or bottle. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what part of it, but it looks almost like a swirl pot or a section of the super manifold, but that's kind of a reservoir, maybe. I don't know. And it was rubbing against that aluminum housing, and eventually it just rubbed through and then shorted and then started to melt wires around it. And it happened in the middle of supercharging, we theorize, because that's when the cooling system is humming away at pretty near full power. And so there's a fair bit of vibration in the cooling system. The super manifold, certainly the condenser, or certainly the compressor, I mean, and other parts of the cooling system. So
the crazy part is he saw it once, and then we were like looking around and it went away, and then somebody saw it the second time.
Yeah.
And then several people saw it.
Yeah.
And then the third time, we were all staring at it, and somebody's like, "It's right there."
Yeah.
The wire was glowing through even the wrap.
Yeah.
And then there's smoke. And it was clearly doing it on a time. So it was like trying something and then failing, trying something and failing, trying something and failing. We caught it like on the third try.
So you're probably thinking the exact same thing we were at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is, all right, what did we modify and screw up?
Yeah.
And make less reliable.
Yeah.
It's not. It was a completely unmodified part of the wiring harness in a modified position. It was as engineered.
Yeah.
So, but certainly we tax the cooling system in this car a lot more than other Teslas might, just with all the track mode use and supercharging use. So
that one wire with the arcing was down to a single strand.
yeah.
So when we tested continuity, it still had continuity. But as soon as it tried to actually use that for power,
And it was shorting.
Yeah, it was shorting.
Yeah. So luckily it didn't zing the whole harness, which I've seen before.
Yeah.
I think the Toyota guys were kind of like, why the heck isn't it blowing a fuse when the car doesn't have any fuses?
But it may have been doing something because it may have seen enough resistance because it was clearly retrying.
Yeah.
So there was some sort of back off algorithm.
Yeah,
or
there's
something,
or a reset on the
right.
sort of electronics.
There was a short.
electronic circuit breaker.
Exactly. Yep. So we turned the car off quick.
Yeah.
And started digging in, and somebody went to Walmart to try and get parts. And the Toyota guys started ripping all their stuff out.
Yeah, they just took over.
Yeah.
Me and Andy are more or less standing there.
I was relaying on the phone to Chris so he could hear and see what was happening.
So that's about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. The total time they were there was probably at least 3 hours playing with it and all that stuff. So the wiring harness got fixed, and then the front motor turned on. That was another problem. Like, okay, well, is it even going to turn on if we fix this?
Yeah, immediately closed the contacts.
Yep. So the fault went away, the high voltage came up, and the car was on all by itself. Except we had still already killed the low voltage battery, and it would have not recycle. And they're kind of finicky, and we already told you it only lasts a short time. It's supposed to protect itself, but it didn't. So we stared at it for a while, and eventually we told the Toyota guys, you gotta get going, because there's not really anything else. We had to figure out how to get another battery. We rent a car.
And it's not a battery you can buy at Walmart.
No, it's some weird Tesla specific thing.
Just proprietary Tesla lithium-ion lightweight 16-volt battery.
It's a cool design.
Yep.
Yeah, super lightweight. It just should be protecting itself, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So could we rent a car? Could we figure out someone that had one at midnight, 1 a.m.? Could we steal a car? Could we convince someone that came into the supercharger, hey, can we borrow that battery for like 2 minutes so we can get our car running? And we didn't do any of those things. We called up Tesla roadside, and there was this service center. Was it like 40 minutes away?
Yeah, about.
And they were able to get a flatbed out, and he was very conscientious, didn't damage anything, got it up there, and he dragged us over to the service center, and meanwhile I was texting with someone who had a rental car, but we figured out the battery didn't work. It's probably too old, not the right kind. And the service center problem was that it opened at 8 a.m. and our run started at 8:30, so effectively we'd have to take a big penalty. So we just pretty much exhausted ourselves and all of our options, and set an alarm for the morning to see if somebody would come in early for work.
And they did.
They did. So at 6 o'clock when the alarm went off, all the lights were dark. But at 6:10 when they went off, I looked again, and there was a light on, and that was different.
Yeah.
And I had already gone all the way around the building, trying to see if there was any way to get in or a phone number or something. And in one of the back corners, there was a clear, roll-up door. And I went over there, and I could see a guy working. And I just banged on the door and waved and said, "Come over." And he was put away his stuff, came over, and I said, "We're on the one lap. Our low voltage battery has died. Can you please give us another one right now so we can leave immediately?" And he looked slightly incredulous. But he said, "Yeah, I think so. Let me get my service writer guy." Which apparently he was also there. I didn't know that, but he was also there, and they came out within 2 or 3 minutes. You had already put a request in to the app, so he went right to it, found the VIN number, saw the service request, gave us the battery, and we swapped that thing in like 2 minutes. Car powered up, and we were out of there.
Yeah. So we slept in a dead Tesla at a service center for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Kind of slept. And the best part was the guy said that they've watched the videos.
Yeah.
So they actually knew who we were as soon as they saw the car and everything else. So thank you, Indianapolis Tesla Service Center guys.
Yeah, they were awesome.
We're up very early.
We got very lucky.
Yes.
And then they delayed the start time to 9 o'clock, so we were able to fully charge the car.
Yep.
Which wouldn't have happened.
Yep. No track walk, no preparation. In fact, no nothing.
We rolled up and just started tossing stuff out of the car.
I put in the SOS channel, we're going to be there 3 minutes early. Everybody come down and chuck all the stuff out of the car for us, please. And I had already, when we were charging, I already put on all my driver's gear and everything. So we rolled in. Everybody yanked everything out in less than 2 minutes. You guys had it clean. Except for a couple minor issues. It was cleaned out. And I went to grid and we made it by less than 20 seconds. And that gets us back to where you started, which is Putnam Road number 1. unfortunately, I've never actually run Putnam in the dry, run it in the wet, but and then all the other stuff going on and no sleep, and so the run wasn't spectacular. The first run wasn't spectacular, but they got it done. It was good enough.
Nice runs.
So there was one time where I thought the turn was going the other direction, briefly, very briefly, but I thought it was going the other direction. So I was like, whoa, okay, let's go the other way. Other than that.
So tomorrow's the dry skid pad. We just have to beat teamPGR. That's
Dave and Nick,
they're
very good.
very solid.
Yep, very good. Car's very good. They're very good. Their tires are good. It will be a tall task, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that's all we got.
We're exhausted, but it's 5 o'clock and we're running in town, so
Yeah,
we could theoretically get sleep tonight, and that would
let's
be
not get ahead of ourselves.
I know. We got a long time. Just
We still got 9 miles to go.
some sort of problem. 9 miles, a generator, and a weird noise when you hit the brake pedal.
We don't need brakes anymore.
We don't need brakes anymore.
Okay.
Talk to you tomorrow.